The Hazbin Hotel fandom is the worst by royalties here. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be very interesting. I heard here and there about negative aspects of like the people that like Hazbin Hotel. I have not watched it. I don't care. Like I won't ever watch it. It's not my thing. If people enjoy it, great. I don't care. But yeah, I'm interested in like what these people, the fans, are known for. So yeah, let's jump into it. Again, never watched the show, not once, and I have no interest. I did watch, however, Dragon Ball Daima yesterday, the first episode, and it's pretty good, with like minor issues.
You know, maybe I finally found it, is what an obese person probably says when they lift up their folds and find their
Is this queso? Queso.
genitals, which have probably been fossilized due to the sheer amount of pressure it's been under for that amount of years. And no, I'm not talking about the One Piece in this instance. We all know the conclusion to that story may just be friendship.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
I love to use it as a meme.
But no, I'm talking about a quest I've been on. A quest that has had many sleepless nights, had me clawing at my eyes at the things I've seen, and secondhand cringe that has almost...
The worst thing that I have seen... By the way, the name... Kakashi's slutty wife is kinda... Huh? Also, why does she have a pacifier anyways? The worst thing that I have seen on like... Royalties Here's channel is the one where he basically shows like a Reddit post of somebody when he was 15 doing nasty things with a pigeon. Like that traumatized me permanently.
Almost made me instinctively grab a 12-gauge shotgun, and that is the worst community. More specifically, a worst community for a show. I've looked at Jujutsu Kaisen, I've looked at
You are telling me, okay? You are telling me that this is even worse than JJK or the My Hero community. Okay.
My Hero Academia, the My Little Pony franchise,
It's worse than My Little Pony.
with their semen-encrusted figurines, that
That is so disgusting. We all know what the one chick did to the Gojo figure for like JJK. We all know what she did.
have an AoE effect that do 2 hit points per second, but no, I think I've found the worst animated or worst TV show community. I can finally put down my staff and robe and tell you what the worst TV show / animated shows community is. With a long look at the community in this video.
Yeah, but what did they do? Come on, come to the point. Talk about it finally.
Being self-explanatory of why it's the worst community, worse than My Hero Academia and worse than Jujutsu Kaisen currently. And that is the Hazbin Hotel community.
When I say you are fucking 20 guys before lunch, you say, yes, Pelican. When I say you better
Not the voice breaking!
Wait,
Blake,
what?
why'd you have to do such a good job with voice acting?
guys before lunch, you say, yes, Pelican.
What?
Kaisen currently. And that is the Hazbin Hotel community.
When I say you are fucking 20 guys before
I don't know. I'm glad. I don't know. What did he do?
Currently. And that is the Hazbin Hotel community.
When I say you are fucking 20 guys before
Wait, what? Do I hear that correctly? What do you mean? Effing 20 guys? What?
lunch, you say, yes, Pelican. When I say you better
Before
Not the
lunch?
voice breaking! Blake, why'd you have to do such a good job with voice acting? Oh my god.
me. Yes, Val. Good.
Where's my goddamn fucking fly swatter? Where is it? Get
Into the thick of it.
I am confused. I am confused. This is an interesting start. This is an interesting introductory to a fandom. Okay.
Into the thick of it.
Believe me, I've not seen a community rival My Hero Academia in terms of the pure amount of secondhand cringe I got looking into the community. It was like being shocked with 1,500 volts constantly. But if you don't know what Hazbin Hotel is in general, I often get it confused with the Hell of a Boss animation because of the similar art style, but I just recently found out it's in the same universe. But a little reminder we all remember is when 10 months ago there was a
I don't know either of these, by the way.
small controversy where a YouTuber spent $50,000 on the animation for a music video where he decided
$50,000. You gotta be fucking kidding me. For an animation? What were you trying to animate? Entire anime season or what?
it was his prerogative to have the plot of that music video being a self-insert of him being sexually assaulted and stalked by one of the characters.
Yeah, okay. Okay. What the hell, dude? What the fuck am I already watching?
Of Hazbin Hotel. 50,000 for a fantasy where one of the characters loves him, and even some softcore to go along with it. They even drew him some abs. This is the community we're looking at. But there actually was a positive of that music video where a lot of people went to support the music that was in the music video because it was fairly unpopular for how much of a banger it was. But that is the one and only good thing that came out of that.
This is so weird, bro. This is so weird, dude. This is so weird. What the hell?
Community. Hazbin Hotel was released in October of 2019 and only currently has one season to it, whilst its counterpart Hell of a Boss has 2 seasons to it. Yes, it started in 2019 and they finished in 2024 just for season 1. The only time I've seen spacing worse than that is between you and the opposite gender.
This is how he calls me out, eh? 5 years. 5 years to finish an entire season. The fuck? That is lazy.
Obviously, animation takes time, and probably having to deal with
Yeah, but bro, not 5 years.
Amazon was a hell in its own, and Hell of a Boss was used to sustain the fans over that long waiting period. But despite that fact, it still has a cult following.
With me, dead from your poison. Vivian Madrano, look at me, look at me. You can kill any other character. Do not kill Angel Dust, please. He's been through enough. I want him to be happy, but whatever means necessary. If he's the one that dies in the show, I'm not watching it anymore. I'm done.
And people are saying that being parasocial is a huge problem in the VTubing community. That's like 4 level above parasocial. What the fuck?
Wish that they had something to live for tomorrow. Oh.
Like, come on. You can't be serious.
You know? Maybe let them do what they want, if it's not hurting anybody, was a bad idea. Just maybe.
Why do they all look the same? But what is Hazbin Hotel about? And what is the hook that has interested so many people, and children, to the point where the community is looked down upon, and has a terrible reputation? Well, the plot is it follows Charlie, the princess of the hell, and her attempt at rehabilitating demons to be more peaceful and to lower the population of hell, and opens a hotel hoping that the inhabitants will check out to heaven. That is the bare bones plot. But why are so many people interested in this show? Especially
Never thought I would see a perfect sell here, but okay.
when it would take an entire decade to just finish the tournament arc. and with one of the creators not really taking well to criticism. But we'll get into that a bit later. But in terms of why people enjoy watching it, you have to look at what the age target range is for this animation. The age target range is 16 plus, with some people saying the age range should be 13. But wouldn't you be happy to know that most of the fans are children? Yes, the milk-sucking, happiness-reducing, money-spending little bundles of joy. Don't worry, I'm booking my vasectomy tomorrow. But this comes across...
Let me guess, this is going to be minus with terrible opinions. God, if I have to see another opinion of mine, I'm going to explode. Mine should not be in the internet. Let's start a petition.
As a problem, as with Hazbin Hotel and its counterpart, Hell of a Boss, are very explicit, and also sexually explicit.
Adam, sir. Mr. Adam, sir.
Call me Dickmaster.
With strong language
Okay.
and jokes that make me feel like I'm being molested through the screen. And even the more sane people in the fanbase agree, with some saying the youngest fans are 8 years old and should not be watching this type.
8 years. 8 years. 8 fucking years.
Of content, and they are not old enough to mentally digest what is happening in this show. But it may be hypocritical for me to say that.
But to be honest, like, who is? What is old enough at this point?
As with most of my generation, we grew up on South Park, Family Guy, American Dad, and The Cleveland Show if nothing else was on the TV, even though we were not of the age to be watching it. And most Hazbin Hotel fans that are under the age seem to think they've seen way worse so they can watch this show. And the show is bright and colourful, so parents would probably be easily mistaken. So if you really care about what your children are watching, make sure you actually look at what they're watching. It could be plastic explosives wrapped like a new dog, but it's still plastic explosives. And even though it is aimed towards, like...
What is that comparison, first of all? Second of all, yeah, I agree. Parents should definitely monitor more what their children are watching. I mean, we have a huge problem with YouTube Kids, like early sexualization or animal abuse and stuff. So, yeah, the problem is parents aren't doing that.
Like teenagers and stuff, it's worrying to see that drawing books are available for it. Obviously made by third-party companies, but they aim the drawing book at the age of 8 to 13, which may solidify the opinion that people think this animation is for kids, or they just haven't done their research.
You want to have what I want. I don't take peace. You want to with me.
But when
I'm also scared. Mom, come pick me up, I'm scared. What the fuck?
kids are a part of a fan base, the correlation between that media and cringe becomes stronger, as we saw with My Hero Academia becoming the fleshlight of the internet.
I think I have to watch that video.
Hazbin Hotel probably a close second, maybe the public glory hole, as the internet has developed
What
a
the hell?
stigma towards Hazbin Hotel, probably from the fans, people just thinking it's cringe, and people thinking it's just over-sexualized trash.
Oh, harder, Daddy.
The fuck? What the actual fuck? What the hell? What the hell, dude?
And to be honest, there's a slight bit of truth to that. As I've said before, the more kids you have in a fan base, the more cringe it's probably going to be. As most adults tend to keep their interests to themselves, and kids being more vocal about their interests on platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Oh,
and in
no.
most scenarios, people outside the community and sometimes in
hell?
the community would view that as cringe. And I don't think kids expressing and having fun online is cringe. It's just a majority of the time they lack self-awareness, which a majority of the time the cringe comes from. But then you have the over-sexualization.
I'll be real. Most adults also lack self-awareness. This isn't something that's like only kids anymore.
And it was not hard to find in this community.
Specifically for Blake, when you in episode 1, when you had to record the voice lines for the sex scene, for the sex tape, were you ever embarrassed when you had to do like, yes, daddy, and
Well, now he is. I'm glad the things I like aren't too popular at this point. At this point, yeah, well, the things I like are fairly normal, so I don't know. But again, this is a child asking this.
moaning.
This person is
A simple look on a platform.
I'm gonna hunt down her parents.
I'm talking one search, and it was already staring back at me. There is so much porn, and I get that the show is aimed towards adults, something they failed at, and they mention sex a lot, like any chance they get.
Way sex with me.
But there is too much.
Huh?
Like, it makes the My Little Pony and FNAF fans
Chica, I miss you. I'm about to fuck you, Chica.
look like
Huh, Speed? What do you want to do? What are you? What do you want to do to this FNAF character? Okay.
born-again Christians in comparison. There is not a drought here, there is an overflowing flood. We've got thirst traps, we've got animations, we've got drawings that go into the same level of depth as Picasso. Like, there's just so much, it at least takes a terabyte of the Rule 34 servers. But apart from the over-sexualization...
What was Roblox there? Why was Roblox there?
by the fanbase, the only other reason that people on the internet have a strong grudge against this animation seems to be due to the fact that kids are watching it once again, and people holding the opinion they are way too young to be watching a show like this. And watching the show myself, yes, I received a lethal dose of gamma radiation and need to be promptly tested.
Lethal dose of gamma radiation. That one is good. Yeah, they are too young. They are too young. It's just interesting that we make up this huge problem that kids are too young to watch this, when we should also do this about other media. What about Twitch? What about some YouTube videos where it's exactly the same? It's just hypocritical that we go after like this and not after the other things as well. Interesting.
Tested with a Geiger counter, but watching it I can see why people like it, at least for the adults. No, not you. The animation is great, the voice acting is great. I mean, they got Keith David in it to be a little gremlin addicted to gambling.
Might just have a chance.
No. Every motherfucker here knows what we need to do.
And to start singing about butt plugs and shit with like a fucking nymphomaniac. Half their budget was gone right there, and it was a great choice. And then you have the other magnum opus of the entire show, which many seem to hold high in regard, and that is the music, which many are pretty phallic, but for someone that cannot sit through musicals and use it as a form of torture akin to waterboarding, I could top
the kids getting baptized. Oh, that's great.
Tolerate this. So what I'm basically trying to say is the story, the whole fucking show in general, is not that bad. The only reason the internet hates it is, once again, because of the fans. And the main reason that a majority of them are underage, and the internet is their little daycare, where they contribute nothing but atrocities to it. But then again, you do have some adult fans that do the same. And the fact that the topic is over-sexualized as well adds to that. It's kind of like with the shipping situation with My Academia.
Why All Might and Deku? For Boku no Pico? What the hell? Who thought this was a good idea? What the fuck? What the hell, dude?
Which was one of its downfalls, because you had people shipping other characters that have never been in a scene before,
What the
and
hell?
let alone had come out of infancy yet. But
What
in
the
this
hell?
scenario, you just have each of them being drawn fucking each other. And I do think this fanbase is worse than My Academia. But my theory is that this show is either more popular than My Academia, or the fact that My Academia already hit its peak around 2014 to 2018, and you don't really see much My Academia cringe anymore. and Hazbin Hotel is only just hitting its peak now.
You're a loser.
Now, what else I wanted to talk about was one of the creators. Vienna Medrano, which I probably just butchered, or other known as Vizzy Pop, was the original creator of Hazbin Hotel and uploaded many of the pilots to YouTube where it garnered popularity. Since the success, she isn't much of an animator anymore. She's took more of a directing role in the series.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, now what he's gonna talk about? What has she done?
But her reputation, regardless, is on the same lines as her creation. She's been known to not accept criticism as well, on everyone's favourite platform, Twitter, with some rants being called tantrums by her own fans, and some actually preying on her downfall due to the fact that when people criticise her, she apparently weaponises her audience against the people criticising her.
That sounds awfully familiar. I know somebody like that. But yeah, that sounds awfully familiar.
But I could find no evidence of this. The only thing I could find was a controversy between her and the FNAF creator, where she commented on some of the donations he was making, and that's it. But Twitter being Twitter, the FNAF, where she commented on some of the donations he was making.
The best part to me is he lists all the shit. But considering Republican politics, he's basically saying that his Christian and pro-life stance outweighs his stance on science and equality and everything else that they actively work against, lol. Ah, okay. Wait, so the FNAF creator is like Christian and pro-life? That's interesting. I never knew that. I mean, cool. Okay. That's interesting. Never knew that. If that's the truth. I don't know, though. I don't think this is at face value because it's like out of context tweet. But if it is, okay. Don't care. That's alright.
Making, and that's it. But Twitter being Twitter, the FNAF creator had his details leaked, and apparently Vivzy was responsible for this. But she wasn't. In fact, his details were leaked far before she even made that tweet. And it was in fact her details that were leaked by the Five Nights at Freddy's fanbase. Because she
Uno reverse. Okay, that's interesting.
was saying some unsavory things about the creator. Another criticism piled against her is that she's into zoophilia and bestiality.
The white women are never beating the allegations!
All sourcing from artwork she made about 10 years ago, something she publicly denounces and has apologised for in recent years, and no longer draws those type of things. But the one thing you can say is true about her is her perception towards criticism. There are a long list of tweets where she talks about criticism and how she can indeed take it, and that she hates that people say she can't take it, but a long list of tweets and replying to almost all the comments, "I'm sorry buddy," kind of proves their point. And another controversy involving criticism was when one of the creators of Digital Circus took a poke at...
I'm gonna be completely honest. If you cannot take criticism, and I mean like genuine criticism, you should not create any kind of content. Because the moment you create any kind of content, whether it's music, videos, games, whatever it may be, art, and you make it public, people are allowed to criticize this, whatever you put out. You're doing fine? Okay. You should not be on the internet and be a content creator if you cannot take any criticism.
saying, this is our show if it was made by the creator of Hell of a Boss. It was a joke about how there's so much swearing and so much references to sex, and that's it, even though that some people on the Digital Circus were friends with her and had worked on projects together. She responded by blocking the person tweeting it and saying, you know, she hates that people keep saying this about her creation. I think she just needs to get off Twitter. That's it. Remember when the creator...
Average Twitter user behavior.
And Master Uguay was doing the same thing, like responding to every piece of criticism that was posted about him. He even commented on my video. And now with this situation with KSI where he just can't seem...
Yeah, Master Uwe farmed this there for content, which is interesting. And now KSI is literally doing the same thing. Yeah. Bro does not respond well to criticism.
...to let it go. Those are the times you take yourself off of Twitter. If it affects you negatively, take yourself off the platform. But yeah, in conclusion, the show isn't that bad. The music's actually pretty good, but that's coming from someone that only listens to Donald Glover. The only downside is the fans, and the fact that most of them are underage, even though it's an adult show. But that's very tricky because we did the same when we were kids. At the end of the day, it's down to the parents. And the...
Yeah, but even when we did it, our parents should have monitored us better. So we should do it better. Like, there's no excuse like, oh, it didn't happen back then, so it's not a problem now. That is a bad argument. That is a really bad argument. That's like saying, I don't know, somebody pushing for war and saying, oh, war wasn't so bad back then, so we can have war now. Pretty much.
Creator seems to have a terrible reputation, even though most of the controversies I've seen are misunderstandings. But the one misunderstanding I hear is that when I say like and subscribe, YouTube voice recognition still does not pick up my voice and my accent. But yeah.
Mine neither. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Okay, now I know. Now I know, and I wish I didn't now, but now I do. Yeah, it's just with a lot of like communities where like the actual thing like revolving around, like that is like the core of that community, like the TV show, the game, whatever it is, usually isn't that bad. It's just like everything around it, like the fandom around it is just bad. Interestingly.